Welcome to a new edition of Blitz. I'm Brian Carter. With me today, Mark Carroll, the head coach of the White County Warriors. We got a couple basketball interviews on the show for you today, but again, we're going to start out here at White County. Coach Carroll, it's good to have you on the show, and you got to be excited about basketball season that's upon us now.
Yeah, I really am. We play our scrimmage game tomorrow night and then open up with our tip-off tournament next Monday and Tuesday. So, we've been practicing hard, but just looking forward to the start of the season.
A lot of teams are kind of handcuffed year to year with the team turnover. That's always an issue. You lost 2 of your 5 starters last year, a couple of your seniors, but you do bring back a lot of seniors this year. A lot of talent coming back. Most of your big playmakers coming back this year. Talk about what you're bringing back in terms of talent and what depth exists on the team this year.
I believe we have a lot of depth. We did graduate 2 seniors last year. Luke Fincher and Tyler Dotson, who were 2 very good players and did a lot of good things for us. But one good thing about this year's team is we have a lot of players coming back. We have 9 players, or rather 8 players who have varsity experience, and that's always a plus. Some of them, started and scored a lot of points and got a lot of rebounds, and some just were role players that got to step up and play a little better this year. But when you have that much experience, it's always a plus.
Now, kind of a disappointing note for a lot of Warriors fans. Shocking to find out Luke Crumley, one of your top guys in inside scoring inside the paint last year, not able to play at this point that we know for this coming season. He just signed a letter of intent to play at University of Georgia for baseball. So talk about his situation and why he's not able to play basketball this year.
Well, Luke just we talked a lot about it, and he felt that it was in his best interest not to play basketball this year. He wants to concentrate everything on his senior year of baseball and be the best that he can be to try to raise any chances of being drafted and hopes that, by concentrating and focusing on baseball, the strength, conditioning, that he'll increase his chances of being drafted and the round that he's drafted in, and it'll be more beneficial to him.
Ashley Lowry has taken a different approach. At this point, he's decided he is still going to play basketball, and he's already signed a letter of intent to play at the University of Kentucky for football, in which their football season in White County, good to know that they're still alive in the state playoffs going to the Sweet 16. But talk about him coming back and what he means to this team.
Well, he's been starting since a sophomore. He played a lot on the varsity as a freshman, and he just brings a lot to our team. Leadership, scoring ability, rebounding. Last year he was our leading rebounder, second leading scorer, and the kids look to him when we get in tough situations. So Ashley, is the leader, and we hope he has a great year. I know he's banged up a little bit from football, but he'll be ready to play. I know that he's a competitor and always works hard.
That's a good segue into my next question. Speaking of being banged up from football, you've got 8 players on your roster currently, 8 out of 12 that play that play football that are going to come play basketball. So talk about how you're planning on starting the season, I guess, shorthanded without a lot of those guys. And then once you get them in, how are you going to get them acclimated to playing basketball again?
Yeah, it is tough. Usually when they get through with the football season, I like to give them 3 or 4 days off. I think it helps them recover a little bit. I know they've been going hard since July, and their bodies are worn down a little bit, and the rest will do them some good. But this year, we might have to change that. In the long term event of it, I'm more concerned about how they play later on in the year, and so if they ease into it and just kind of gradually get their basketball skills back, it's going to take time. It's going to take time.
Now you have 7 seniors on the team. That's a lot of
Right.
leadership coming back. Headed, I guess, by Ashley Lowry, and you've got quite a bit of athletes out there. Is it difficult with 7 seniors? Obviously, you can't start all 7 of them. You can only start 5, and even all those guys aren't seniors. So is it hard for some of the guys, especially the seniors, to accept their roles?
Well, it's something that you have to talk with them about, and we'll do that kind of on an individual basis and just let them, it's going to take a while to find out where all these pieces kind of fit together. And once we get established in identities and roles, we'll talk to them and kind of let them understand what their role might be and how it's going to help the team.
Now, you've been flirting with 500 for a few years now, ending out each season. Is that a team goal going into this season to finish 500 or better for the first time since the 06-07 season?
Well, I think it's a definite goal. I mean, we want to accomplish more than just a 500 season. We feel like we really have, once we get everybody in place, We've got all these guys returning. We've got a couple young guys who transferred in from White Creek Christian Academy, the Hurst brothers, who are going to help us out. We got a lot of good pieces. Once we figure out how these pieces kind of fit together, I think we've got a really good chance of having an outstanding year. So we want to, our goal is going to be to go to the state tournament. We feel that's realistic, and just keep getting better and better, and be playing our best at the end of the year.
Well, Coach Carroll, as always, we appreciate having you on the show, and good luck to you this season.
I appreciate it, Brian. Thanks.
Now, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to get one of the players on here, junior Andrew London of the White County Warriors, coming up next.